All right, so we're diving deep today into Psalm 101 from the New Living Translation, and this one you actually sent our way.
I did.
So
Yeah.
thanks for that. Really looking forward to unpacking this one. It's all about, it seems like anyway, how King David thought about integrity and leadership and justice all kind of tied together.
So I guess we'll see how he approached like being a good person, how he dealt with the, not so good stuff in the world, who he kept close, and how that all fed into running a just society or kingdom or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, no, it's really fascinating. So much packed into a pretty short psalm,
Yeah.
especially thinking about all the leadership challenges people face today. It's pretty relevant.
For sure. Like right out of the gate, verses 2 through 4, David's talking about personal integrity. Live a blameless life, he says, and integrity in my own home. Seems like he's starting with his own little world first. What do you think? Like, why there? Well, it does suggest that for David, at least, like, being a good ruler started with being morally straight at home. Like, not just for show, but being consistent, inside and out, starting with his own house. And then he goes on about rejecting all the vile and vulgar stuff. Back then, who knows? Maybe that was corruption, maybe bad religious stuff that was threatening his faith and his kingdom.
And they got messing around. He says he hates crookedness. Won't even hang out with people like that.
Yeah.
Pretty strong words, right? And then rejecting those perverse ideas sounds like he's really working at keeping his mind and his actions clean. Does that resonate with you at all? Like this idea of a leader really being that vigilant about themselves?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Like, it's timeless in a way, shows how much a leader's character matters. David knew that his values, good or bad, were going to affect every decision, every part of his kingdom. So not just sitting back and being good, but actively striving for it.
Right. Okay, so then we get to verses 5 through 7, and it's all about like who he surrounds himself with and how that plays into leadership. No slanderers, can't stand the proud types, always on the lookout for faithful companions, though. So like building a good team. What jumps out at you here?
I mean, the focus on faithfulness, people who are above reproach. David's not just looking for yes men. He wants people with real integrity working with him. It's like the strength of a leader is kind of shown by the people they choose to be around,
Yeah.
And he's very clear, no liars, no deceivers. For a king surrounded by all that palace drama, that's probably a good survival tactic, too.
Yeah, smart move. Like he knew a just society can't be built with shady people in charge. Then, bookending the psalm, verses 1 and 8, we see that bigger picture of justice. Starts by saying he'll sing about love and justice, and then, bam, his daily task is kicking out the wicked from the city. How do you tie those two things together? Like being a good dude and then actively fighting injustice.
Well, it's interesting because it links his worship, singing praises with actually creating a just society. It wasn't enough for David to just be a good guy personally. He felt like he had to actually fight against the bad stuff in his community. And daily task, right? This isn't a one-time thing. Justice was a constant effort. So think about that. How does that idea of actively working towards justice fit in with how you see leadership and responsibility, in your own world?
Wow, yeah. A lot to think about there for sure. So basically Psalm 101, the one you suggested, it shows this David's whole philosophy, I guess you could say. Being a good person, choosing the right people, and fighting for justice every single day.
Yeah.
And it's all connected to his faith, too.
Exactly. Those three pieces, like how you live, who you're with, and how you fight for what's right, they all work together. That's David's blueprint for good leadership.
So much to unpack here, really makes you think. As you go about your day, how would you define living with integrity now? Who are your faithful companions, the people you really trust? So many good questions that came out of this deep dive. Thanks for bringing it to us.
Yeah, thank you. It was fun.
It was. See you next time.